Yeah.
And we are live.
Nice. Okay, let's get into this then.
Personally feel as if looking at the two decks here that
Okay, so you in?
I would pick the side of Derwipok. Just given the performance that we saw in the previous match, it just felt like a really similar matchup in a lot of ways. Now, I think that the series is going to be close. I think that that Cold is favored to take some games off of Derwipok, but I think that especially once they kind of get a feel for one of those decks, that Dewey is going to have a good idea of how to mount a good defense against the Coldstorm side.
Yeah, no, I definitely think I like Dewey going into this one. I'm not sure how Hellberg can hear you, by the way, Neil.
I cannot, actually, at all.
Try turning him up or something.
I have him muted from our previous thing. I apologize for that.
There we go.
There we go. You guys have unmuted each other. Fantastic.
Yeah, sorry.
So who do you favour after this first round? We've seen a couple of deaths going on.
Probably... I don't know, I'm still kind of feeling Derwipok, just because he got some nice damage onto the left tower. And his towers are still slightly more healthy.
And that mid lane is looking wide for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, already.
And he's capitalizing on that a lot. I mean, Coldstorm does have answers to this. He's got Hipfire, Keenfolk Turret, Assassin's Apprentice. All really good cards for clearing. And of course, Hipfire being cross lane means he can play it from here. So he has some nice answers to it. But the fact that he has to answer it is kind of putting him in this sort of... He's on the back foot already. In Artifact, you always want to be on the front foot. Or almost always, anyway. It certainly feels like one of those games where being proactive is a lot better than being reactive.
Totally. And the good thing, though, is that he has the Keenfolk turret early. And like the earlier you put it out, the more value you get out of it. So
he chooses to put it on this lane, though. Do you like that? Do you like it here, or do you like it in mid lane, which is a bit more hotly contested?
I don't know. There's not exactly like a play this turn on the mid lane, so it might be good to play it here just to kind of slow his enemy down. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe mid lane. Mid lane might be better actually.
Okay, I was questioning Coldstorm on his placement, but where did that Celemane in his favor go? The lane without anything in it? Yeah, go Neon.
Favor in that right lane is wild to me, especially since if we had played it into the middle lane, we would have been able to play out the Marufel Brawler this turn. That feels pretty good. So, I mean, we do get the Hipfire out here where the LC goes down, but I can't imagine a reason why we are playing it into the right lane.
Nope.
Look at this juicy 6 mana.
Yeah, maybe he wants to like take this lane back with the Beastmaster.
Beastmaster into Brawl, but then that Phantom Assassin has 1 health anyway. So I would have liked it, maybe, if one of his green heroes were dead, or one of his green heroes were going to die this turn, if he would have expected that, because then he could redeploy it in the 8 mana phase, and just suddenly swing that lane around. But, I mean, he doesn't really have any 7 mana red plays, which is the only thing he was really able to do here.
Yeah, sorry, I meant Sven. Like, Sven in the right lane trying to take it back with the Marufel Brawler. But yeah, I still feel like...
Interesting play, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe it's seeing something we don't.
That'll be one to watch.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be one to watch as we go into the late game to see how it turns out, because that is a controversial move. Not a lot to do here on Derwipok's side. I think they're just playing out that Verdant Refuge into that mid lane seems to be the obvious play, but we have a lot more to do on Coldstorm's side.
And so we've spent the last sort of 5 minutes talking about why he put Celemane in his favour there. I still think Derwy has a really good hold on this game. Like mid lane now with that Verdant Refuge as well, looking nice. And this left lane, like you said before, Hellberg, he's got a lot of good damage out already. And blocking the unit he's going to be able to kill with Keenfolk Turret was interesting. I guess maybe he's going to curve the arrow or just try and get some tower damage going, but...
Yeah, he'll probably swap it just to save it anyways, and then he can like pew it with the Keenfolk Turret. But yeah, so here just choose it so it dies anyway.
So was that a 300 IQ play of the 200 IQ play that he saw coming?
Yeah, totally. Total prediction. I don't think it matters that much, but yeah, I don't know.
Do you play out the Disciple of Nevermore at this point, and maybe try to get a curve onto that Lycan?
Oh, and he gets the curve.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, next level plays. Neon System all.
Man, Coldstorm is playing incredibly well. I haven't watched any of his games this series. He has been recording them, so I'm definitely going to watch those back, and we'll be putting VODs out of all of the games that were recorded, both from the stream and the players. But yeah, definitely, as soon as I put those out, I'll send out a tweet or something to Coldstorm specifically, because he has been playing really well. The only 2-0 of the series so far, and now just with the crazy IQ plays this game already. I mean, he's still a little bit behind, I'd say, but definitely pulling it back.
Yeah, it's a bit. Do you think Coldstorm's behind? I think maybe he's ahead now. Actually.
Potentially ahead now, yeah. With being able to clear that Lycan, that arrow, maybe he is now ahead, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends how big of a Marrowfell this is.
Yeah, but so mix Arena in the left lane and then save the Marrowfell Brawler for next turn, maybe?
Could do,
for Derwipok.
Or even a Mex here if you intend to fight this lane, but I guess he doesn't intend to fight. You get 2 draws off of it immediately.
Yeah, but 2 draws are pretty good, but it's not great for 6 mana, and he's not fighting this lane anymore after these 2 years die, I guess.
Yeah.
But
he's
But actually, I like this play here of doing this, try to just set up just a kill on the Phantom Assassin. I mean, given the fact that your opponent did have a item in hand, that was a little bit risky, but it needed to be something like a weapon in order to actually allow that trade to go through. Still, I'm not enjoying that play of the Salamani's favor into that right lane. Hasn't paid off quite yet, but the LC does have the opportunity to come down and play the Marrowfell Brawler wherever you feel like, so that's nice.
yeah.
Coldstorm had a massive 25 gold going into this buy phase, by the way.
Oh,
Fortunately
Jesus Christ.
for Derwy, there wasn't like a Horn of the Alpha in the secret shop or something. So he just spent it on 4 different items, but still. Coming into the next phase with 4 items, you definitely feel good about your card advantage.
Yeah. So this is looking pretty good for Coldstorm right now, I'd say.
Where'd you put your Legion Commander, Hellberg?
Left.
Left. You definitely want to fight there.
Yes, because right lane feels kind of scary, especially with the Primal Roar coming up next turn. I think he has much bigger chance of fighting left lane.
And I guess you can't let that Disciple get out of hand.
Yeah, that as well. You don't want to ban... I abandon middle lanes, but I usually don't abandon Disciple lanes. It's rarely a good idea.
Is there anything you want to duel here? Or do you just drop the Marrowfell in front of something?
So... I guess you could duel the Disciple, but I think the Marrowfell in front of the... what's it called? Bounty Hunter is better. Although, you might be scared of a Slay here. Or wait, no, he doesn't have Slay, it's the other player to trust. Then, yeah, just play the Marrowfell Brawler in front of the Bounty Hunter, I'd say.
Yeah, no Slay available for Derby, so if you're not worried about that. He plays in front of the Disciple instead.
Yeah, that's
I
fun.
personally like it in front of the Disciple, because that's the one that's going to be doing the most damage over the course of the next couple turns. It's also something that the, yes, it's possible to trade with the Bounty Hunter here, but it, close to be honest, because it just the Disciple is just so spooky, and you have no other tools to get out of the lane this turn.
Yeah. And since the Legion Commander also got Cood, having the duel for next round is a bit... It's not guaranteed, sure you have a swing coming down, but that might as well be Cood also, so this is a more safe play maybe, I'd say. Especially since the Marrowfell Brawler would take 13 plus 2 damage maybe, so it'd be only down to 1 health and then he could kill it with Kinfolk Turret next turn if he placed it in front of the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, that Kinfolk Turret's actually paying for itself, despite me thinking it wouldn't.
Yeah. Kinfolk Turret is actually really good in draft just because of how long the games can be sometimes, but if you get it this early, it's only turn 3 and it's already had a lot of value. So yeah, it's a good card, definitely.
This is looking like a good defensive Bloom game as well in that left lane, because right now you basically just, I think, need some time to get back established for it, and soaking up some is quite useful.
Yeah. So, would you play the Hellbear Crippler here, or would you save it?
I kind of like it, but I would have just put I would have just put the Hellbear Crippler in front of the Stonehall Elite and left it at that.
Yeah.
Making the Stonehall die and lose, just being able to make it die without having to also use your creep. Because the creep is like a 50-50, right? Sometimes it will go in front of the creep, sometimes it will go in front of the Stonehall.
Or maybe use Call of the Wild first, and if it doesn't place in front of the Elite,
yes, then you can use it, yeah. Yeah, maybe I would have liked that play more. I like that he saves his unit now, so he's got a lot of pressure in this lane.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs it for the damage, for it to be guaranteed.
So he's worried. So we were worried about him dropping Sven and Lycan into this first lane, but now he can't afford to, right? Or does he abandon one of these two lanes?
So
one of them right now. It's a question about whether or not it's left or right, but he has to abandon one of them at this point, because I think that it's almost impossible to defend both with just splitting up your heroes. So it seems that he's opting for the right lane, which is
have
really
a
close.
In his favor there.
Yeah, thank God. But Coldstorm does have the read though, and is going in with the Phantom Assassin, which is pretty spooky in this lane. And then also the lineup here of, okay, nothing was in front of the Beastmaster, which is really important, since that is of course the Primal Roar card that is necessary. 3 copies of Primal Roar in Coldstorm's hand, and not going to be able to deploy any of them here.
Yeah, I would probably have played him left lane actually, just because I'd be so afraid of the Primal Roar. Sure, as you said, they didn't actually land in front of it, but if they landed in front of it, it would pretty much be over right here, right?
I mean, Derby still has the option to play a defensive Bloom in that right lane, which he might be looking at.
Yeah, that might screw me over, actually. Because one of them might land in front of Beastmaster, then you could Primal Roar and...
Exactly, yeah. He's got to block that PA's damage. Well, he doesn't have to, but if he's trying to play the game, he should probably block that Phantom Assassin's damage, and it's either defensive Bloom or the Say To-Do list.
Yeah.
What play do you like here? Is there a good play here?
I don't know.
Do you force the mana out of him first? Nope. No, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably better to place the Satyr Duelist in front of PA first. Wait, so if he... Does he get lethal here if he uses Primal Roar?
He gets an extra 6, so...
He needs 1 more damage, right?
No, he has lethal with that.
Yeah,
he has lethal with that. Why even risk the RNG?
Yeah.
Do you use the Primal Roar first because you just want to block them out of green plays, if possible? Because, for instance, you see the Satyr Duelist in hand.
Yeah, he's going to duel instead. Yeah. But, which I do like, blocking him out of black cards in this lane for another 2 turns.
Yeah.
Especially since he hasn't used any of his mana yet, so now he almost has to use Primal Roar.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he uses Primal Roar here, and 6 damage come through. And
so it takes him down to just 2 health left. This is definitely rough for Derwy now.
Yeah, I think that with that series of plays, it looked like Derwipok was setting up for a duel, in which case I would have liked to play out the Agloti Vandal, as they were kind of setting up for it, because that 8 damage effectively in the lane would have actually set up the lethal, I believe, for this. And so I that's a kind of a small thing, that kind of reading it, that your opponent is trying to set up for a duel, but yeah, I think there was a slight misplay from Coldstorm's side.
And the fact that unit in front of Beastmaster didn't die means he has another raw target again.
And also, the face boots on Beastmaster could be huge here. He could just reposition
perfectly where he needs to go.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even think of that.
And nothing is killing Beastmaster here with a duel or anything, unless it first equips an item on something and then duels. So I think Coldstorm has this.
At least we're coming into the scary stages for Derby now, but Coldstorm is just playing too quickly for him.
Yeah, Derby can't really keep up right now.
Especially with
Yeah.
that siege damage, like it's just like there's no tools to stop it. Like unless you can kill him or get him out of the lane, there's nothing that you can do to stop it. So we just Derwipok just reads the hand and says, "There's nothing I can do. Move on to the next game."
Yeah. Might as well jump over to the next game as quickly as possible before you have time to get tilted. That's my strategy. Like, if I get annoyed in a game, I just immediately jump to the next one. And that's exactly what they've done.
Exactly what they're doing, yeah.
Yep. So,
You're seeing these two decks. What are you thinking right now? The Hellberg rather, is what are these decks do you think that you like more? I know that you're a big fan of the 3 faction decks or the 3 color decks. Do you still like Derwipok's side after seeing how that game turned out?
So I don't have the card list up right now, but his splashers are... Okay, now I can see the card list again. Let's see. So he's splashing Payday and Track, Disciple of Nevermore. Like, he has good splash cards, I think. So I actually like this quite a lot, because Payday and Track, and also the Horn of the Alpha, like, it just opens up a whole new way of him to win games. So I like the splash here of the Bounty Hunter. Okay, so who's winning this first turn? Looks like Derwipok, right?
Yeah, he's always got a nice... He's getting nice and wide in that right lane, which a Phantom Assassin has no way of dealing with. And now these creep spawns are even benefiting him as well, because they're going into the Lycan lane, which means they're getting +4, or they're getting +2s rather, to their attacks.
Yeah, it just makes me so happy when my Lycan start out the game with a 1 or 2 creeps by his side. Same with the Enchantress.
Putting the Enchantress in the right
Enchantress
lane.
here,
Yeah.
right in front of the Phantom Assassin. Now, Phantom Assassin cannot kill... Yeah, can kill, rather, the Enchantress in a 1v1, so that's a little bit strange. I guess they're planning to set up a Ramesk Blessing in that lane?
Yeah, that's kind of the only play now, unless you... Yeah, just Ramesk right lane, I guess. There's not really that many plays for him here anyways. There's only Ramesk and Solmenes. And he doesn't have anything to chain after Solmenes. I guess he could Ramesk from right lane itself. Yeah, but yeah, it's probably Ramesk from left lane to right lane, and yeah, that's probably the play here.
And then set up the Solmenes from right lane maybe. Even so, like they're taking a lot of tower damage here now. Again, Coldstorm's playing really fast. This is 11 damage coming at your tower, and you have no way of stopping it.
Yeah, here if you're Derwipok, you just praise the gods that Bounty Hunter didn't get the high roll on the Janada.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good. Oh, okay.
Salamene on the right lane once again. It's just his patented favorite play. I love it.
He really likes this right lane.
But I mean, this does allow for a double play in the right lane of a Ramesk Blessing plus either Hellbell Crippler or
nice
Smash the Defenses.
Now it has a target.
I actually really like the Smash in this kind of state here. I mean, like usually the Sail Reinforcements isn't the place where I like to hit my Smashes because it's not a hugely impactful one, but when you're in the early game like this, it's going to make a pretty big difference over the course of a long game. So may as well get it off and get started.
And you can look at your opponent's deck and, you know, other than Keenfolk Turret, this is probably the highest value target for your Smash.
Yeah.
Is he going to let the Enchantress die, or is he just going for a wide board and he's going to let the improvement stay there?
I personally would have smashed first and see what I draw, and then probably play Ramesk on this lane to save the Enchantress.
I don't think that the Hellbear damage is going to be mattering too much. I mean, obviously, it's nice to get off a... Oh, we get a gank cross lane.
That's nice.
It seems right now that this first lane is just a disaster for Derwipok, and that he's going to have to probably abandon it.
Yeah, this is just where no powder. Like, no way I'm going back, ever.
Yeah. Coldstorm notices that, he's losing this lane for sure, so he might as well let his Phantom Assassin die and get something out of it.
Really dislike this now.
Yeah. I think the Hellbear Crippler dealt 2 damage to the tower there, right? I'm pretty sure actually smashing the excuse me, what's the name of it? The Stealing Reinforcements first would have actually added more damage than the Hellbird did, and then Rumusk the lane to keep the Enchantress alive.
I mean, where are you getting a better Rumusk than that one, right? Like Rumusk is such a good card to get off early. You get to run 2 heroes as well. Like, I think that is the obvious example of where you want to do something like a Rumusk Blessing.
Yeah, like
I do like Rumusk there, but I feel like you've won this lane. Like, you see him gank with his Phantom Assassin. You know he's effectively suiciding her. So you're like, okay, he's giving this lane up. So maybe I don't want to overcommit and Rumusk 2 heroes so that they never die and they get stuck in this lane. Maybe that's what he's worried about.
Yeah,
that's the only path I can see that he was thinking about there.
Yeah, it might be a case of just wanting the Enchantress to die, really. But then I don't really understand the deploy there in the first place, but yeah, it's not a disaster for at all. It's fine. It's just fine.
And you've still got to win 2 lanes, right? Like this is the classic. This has happened a lot in this top 8, especially. Is that someone will win left, someone will win right, and middle is where someone might eventually win, but it's pretty even most of the game.
Yeah, you usually want to prioritize, like, that's usually how we want games to go. You want to win one lane, or, well, of course you want to win three lanes, but realistically, you want to win one lane, your enemy wins one lane, and you fight for a third lane. That's probably the most usual way a game goes, I'd say.
What do you do here as Coldstorm? Are you looking to drop that other steel reinforcements, or are you trying to get some benefit out of Corpse Tosser, or do you want to sucker punch the Sven? Like, what's the plan?
This is a pretty good sucker punch. I'm just not a big fan of Corpse Tosser. Like, in all of the games that I played with and against it, it usually does very little.
It is a fantastic meme, I'll have you know, but that's about it.
Top tier memes. I'm not going to disagree here. And then also here, I think that would have been interesting to, for instance, play the Tyler State Sensor for Derwipok earlier in the turn to block a play like this. But I mean, also you're not that upset about seeing the Corpse Tosser come out right here. This I feelings about. I kind of would have liked the sucker punch in order to try and take down that Mazzy over the course of a couple of turns. Now it'll just be a trade. I'm not sure.
I mean, you can still sucker punch into next turn, I guess, but yeah, I would have liked it this turn, I think.
I maybe would have liked the Disciple there, because he would have killed the Mazzy, added 2 damage to Sven, and he would have survived with 1 health. I don't know. Saving Disciple is pretty important as well.
Yeah, Disciple would have died there as well, and Disciple is a big swing. Of course, Derby has plenty of big swings. He has Thunder Hides, for example, and plenty of gold generation, so like he has ways to come back into games. Do you like him dropping Enchantress here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have enough of this cross-lane stuff that it's worth at least considering. I'm not sure how I feel about Enchantress versus the the Lycan going into the mid lane. I think this is probably better because you want to push down that tower and having the extra damage as opposed to the extra regen is nice, but you do have the opportunity here to launch that Verdant Refuge into one of those 2 other lanes, and then next turn you can even Rumusk Blessing as well.
Yeah, it's probably... What does he do first, though? Does he Rumusk or Verdant Refuge?
I mean, he only gets to do 1 because he's dead. So he's got to make his choice, and it's going to be with him.
Yeah.
I quite like Rumusk mid. It puts a lot of pressure on him on Coldstorm, because Coldstorm doesn't have much AoE clear, but he's going to go for it in the right lane.
I don't know if you need that.
Into the right lane, since that seems like it was more or less one already. Doing it into the mid lane, also you get it on the 3 heroes, which is always nice. Got a double track kill there. That's a lot of gold. Take a look at his item deck, see what he has access to. That's the opponent's one. So we like Phase Boost, Helm of the Dominator seems really good in this matchup. Red Miss Maul, also really good. That is a wonderful tool to have access to in a deck like this where you might struggle to close things out in the late game. Getting that extra punch through is so nice. So yeah, I am really spooked in this case with Coldstorm sitting at 25 gold.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ogre
that's
Corpse Toss is going to
scary.
get a second set of 2 damage out. Another creep.
Wow.
It's a good card, guys.
How much mana does it cost now again? 5? Yeah, that's... Like, have you heard of the Oglodi Catapult, or whatever it's called?
Oh, yeah.
The...
The 0/4.
Yeah, it's pretty much that, but shittier.
But 5 mana. This
Yeah,
is a scary disciple now. But also it lines up the Sucker Punch.
It's a bold disciple. I feel like... Yeah, I mean, just getting the damage in on the tower is so good.
Yeah.
You see
That's
the gold
one
in
spicy
Coldstorm.
disciple.
He now has 35 gold. Like, you've got to do something.
You kind of needed to win yesterday when you see that amount of gold on the enemy hand. Like, you have to fight. Yeah, just go all in. Praise
Oh,
to
that's a really unfortunate spawn for old Derwy. I mean, he does have a Sucker Punch available if he wants to take it. If he really wants to keep... I mean, he can also Traveler's Cloak, but you'd end up losing attack on that Legion.
Yeah.
The
one
Remes
is a bit of a feels
Blessing
bad.
on the right-hand lane, by the way, I think was for the purpose of setting up that duel.
Setting up
Like,
that
just kind of
duel.
like going back for it, that was really the purpose. Which makes a good deal of sense, because it did set up lethal on the tower. Needed to get that clutch Call of the Wild placement there. So, well, it was a little bit dicey there. I feel like it paid off, all things considered. But I do like the fact that Derwipok has kind of decided, like, I am aggro now. I am going to try to push things down, because my opponent just has all of these tools to go into that late game here. Now, I don't think that Coldstorm has anything that can really allow him to push down the Ancient this turn, but next turn, there's a really good chance of a good Ancient kill.
Does he have a Disciple? Yeah, he has 1 Disciple.
Let's see if he draws it.
No.
Nope.
But he's still
So
got plenty
still
of damage.
needs... Yeah, he needs 2, maybe 3 turns to kill this Ancient. Probably 2.
Yeah, if he commits more things to it, then 2. But with 3 heroes coming back next turn, like, this is the turn he's got to make a stand. Oh, wow.
He does not want to fight that. Yeah, I think he only had like a hip fire, and I don't think he had the cards to actually survive this turn. So...
Wow,
Yeah,
from
that
35
right
gold
lane
to
was so bad.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Is that Raw tied up?
The reason that worked out was for the purposes of Derwipok going on this aggressive up slant and the Remus Blessing into the duel. So I think that was a strong play and paid off for him. But that'll allow us to go into a game 3. Remember, this is a best of 5, so we are going to have another game after this one way or another. But yeah, no, still having lots of fun watching this. These have been really good back and forth matches. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have just absolutely loved watching any amount of competitive Artifact, because it feels like every game is close.
Yeah, it feels like anyone can win any game, and that you don't look back and go, oh, okay, that's where he made the mistake that cost him the game. You look back and go, oh, wait, it could have been there, or he could have done that, or this, that, and that. But if that had happened, then this would have happened, and it's so complex that literally anyone can win any game.
Yeah, it's as you say, it's really difficult to pinpoint one mistake or decision that decided the whole game, usually.
Unless you put Selma in his favour in right lane. That's always wrong.
I don't know about always, but that first thing was a bit questionable. Let's not hide that. But yeah.
Man,
Now,
is
one thing
this
to know-
round 4? What's happening in left lane? Why are there 9 cards there?
Stuff went down. It's just crazy.
Now, one thing to note that I thought was really interesting is that we did pick up the Town World Scroll on the side of Coldstorm in that first shopping phase. That's actually really appealing, because it allows you to just ditch one of these lanes, either left or right. I like the idea of just piecing out of that right lane and just go a whole hog on these other 2, because usually if you're the aggressive deck, it's nice to just focus down those 2. This Keenfoot turret is also going to provide some nice value over the couple of turns, getting that creep down in order to get some more damage in with his own creep.
And keeping his board wide. Like, that's such a good thing in draft. Keeping your board nice and wide can really benefit you when it comes to placing heroes and placing units.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't TP out now.
You got the high road.
I'm probably still tipping out, personally. I think.
Cool though.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think he TP's out here.
I guess you're not too worried about 4 damage on your tower, and allowing the enemy to reposition their hero as well, maybe not the best, but I do like just taking the hit. Like RNG has blessed you. I like waiting to see what he does, and if he doesn't do anything, then taking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those decisions that we go back to afterwards at like the game.
Golden ticket.
Counterfactual was golden ticket.
No, yes.
Golden ticket. Oh, nice.
We saw a Hestia come from this earlier, Hellberg, and it basically actually it was Derwy that did it. So maybe RNGesus is gonna, or Karma rather, is gonna pay him a trip for that Vestia win.
I've never gotten anything good out of one of these.
I've only ever gotten good things out of golden tickets.
I do not believe that at all. I think once I got the card draw a bunch of health thingy.
Furline Mantle.
No, the other one. It's
Cloak of Endless Carnage or whatever it's called.
Exactly, that one. I've gotten that one once.
The card that no one ever wants.
Yeah, that's like the best one I've gotten. I was like, oh, that's a lot of HP. Nice.
That helped me win my tiebreaker game. That came in, good, did some good work.
There, I had. Good. Yeah.
It was the weirdest gold deck I've ever played. It was a very strange deck, but man, like that was an important feature of the deck of keeping that going. This left lane is a party.
Yeah.
All right, golden ticket. I just want to see what happens. Come on, explode with something. Oh, that's the highest value smash you're gonna find.
Yeah, that's a lot of value.
And
let's see what it does.
Hot damn! We did it, boys!
Game over. I'd surrender.
That's horrible. Oh, jeez.
Literally the worst that is possible here.
Yeah, I believe if there's anyone at home confused, this is probably the worst. Well, not the worst item in the game, but definitely the worst 3 gold item in the game.
Yeah, that ain't great. That's just no. I feel so bad for him.
He is getting some really good value out of Corpse Tosser now, though. 3 creeps dying.
Oh Jesus!
Boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
That's like a Thunderhide. Assuming it's blocked.
Yeah.
Thunderhides.
So long as that happens every single turn, it's the same value as a Thunderhide.
Yeah, Corpse Tosser confirmed as good as Thunderhide. 5 mana Thunderhide, boys. Put it in all of your decks.
Do you like Sister of the Veil here? She does kill off Phantom as a Legion Commander, and I very rarely see a good use of Sister of the Veil.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to do this, so I think it's the right play. And right lane, a lot of action going on.
Left lane.
Yeah,
you're
just comparing that left lane and that right lane. It's just like it just tells you a story about what these players think about these different lanes. Left lane, all these heroes, gang, piling in, they're dog piling in their right lane. Couple of creeps, just wet noodle fight.
Yeah.
It should be noted here that it looks like Coldstorm has really taken control of that mid lane. So the fact that he has control of that, I think that does force Derwipok in to try to fight for that right lane, because they have to take one of these lanes. Because even if he does happen to win in the left, that's just not good enough.
Yeah. If I was cold here, I would probably abandon right lane, or not care more about right lane. Let the Derwy fight for it and just put all my heroes left lane, personally.
Yeah, because Derwy, he has to commit. If he doesn't want to lose left lane, you've already done 24 damage to his 40. He's got to do something here if he wants to stem the flow. So I think you can afford to abandon right lane. But no, he chooses to fight it.
I guess maybe he can slow his enemy down in the right lane as well, and that's why he sends a hero there, so it could save him a couple of turns. That's a pretty value pick-off.
Yeah, that's a nice pick-off. Opens up some tower damage.
More damage. Yeah.
Would like in the right lane here to just see something when we eventually get there, like either the Ironfall Goldmine or the Gloaty Vandal, and then just TP out. Because you've seen now that your opponent did in fact commit to that right lane, so you can just say okay, I'll play something out, slow things down a little bit, and then there.
Yeah. I would save the Glody. I wouldn't play it in right lane. That 4 damage to the tower could really decide a game.
Yeah,
True.
especially how wide mid is, left is rather.
Yeah, and how low the enemy tower is in both left and the mid lane. Or
though?
lane 2. What did you say? Sorry?
No? Do you TP out the bounty hunter? Do you teleport out the bounty hunter?
I think now you've seen his placements, you do.
Yes.
You hope to God that he doesn't... In fact, you see he doesn't have an item, right? Oh, no, you see he has 2 items, and they're both 3 gold. So he could easily have a teleport as well. But if you're Coldstorm, you just take the gamble. You're like, okay, well, 2 heroes are stranded here. I'm going to TP my bounty hunter out, and I'm going to commit to the other 2 lanes, and I'm going to win this game.
Yeah. Like, even if he one-shots this lane, this turn, I think it's fine. Like, he doesn't really care.
Maybe now you want to drop the Aglody to trade with the wolf, just to make sure he doesn't go crazy, but even so, I'm not even sure you're worried about that.
Like...
Because of the regeneration.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, so yeah, you definitely TP out.
I think this Aglody is killing a tower one way or another.
Well, I mean, yeah, just look at that left lane. Like the bounty hunter goes in there. It's just going to be this huge party, which is the perfect setup for a primal roar, right? Like I feel like there's close to 100% chance that you will have a good opportunity to primal roar in the left lane this turn, assuming that there isn't like a kill somehow on the Mazzy beforehand, which will be really hard to do. Oh man, we don't get it. Okay, we get the curve into the
hour helps.
Yeah, the hour helps. Arrow helps.
You don't have initiative though, so maybe you wait to see what he plays. Because he could play, if he plays something in front of Mazzy, then it's even better.
Maybe just Ku, the Legion Commander. If you're
World's your oyster at this point from Coldstorm, right? Like you have options.
Yeah.
And he does it. So this is a primal roar, right?
A primal roar.
Because even if it goes mid, like it's not going to block enough damage, and you've still got the Vandal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's primal roar time.
This is basically a game-winning primal roar.
Yeah.
This is
actually no, yeah, you do because you get the double short sword as well that you can get enough damage in.
It's actually a game win. I didn't do the maths. Yeah, you're right. It's actually a game-winning one. But he goes for the Ku instead.
Oh, no.
I mean, maybe he doesn't want him to have an answer in mid, but yeah, I definitely like the primal there.
So
possibly he have in the mid lane in order to get out of this.
That's a good question.
Oh yeah, this'll kill someone.
So this goes down to 70 health, which means next turn, if he plays a Glody, the tower is basically dead. I really hope the creeps one into here and dies, so the corpse tosser finishes off the game.
That would be very nice.
So great.
If at all possible, can we order that for the final game? Can that be the closing play of the Season 0 Grand Finale over Corpse Tosser?
I want Coldstorm to slay his own creep, so the Corpse Tosser throws the creep at the enemy tower and wins. That would be so great.
Okay, so
I think this disciple of Nevermore is definitely what you have to do here. I think that there's just it'll be really hard to push down that left lane in any way, shape, or form. But this is like basically up for possibly 2-turn lethal here, because if you get something like defensive bloom, that gets you 2 bodies, so that's like 8 damage by itself.
Well, I mean, you've got Thunderhide in hand, so Thunderhide's 14 plus 4. It's not quite 2-turn.
Yeah. So if you have any other, like something like defensive bloom, I think it might do more damage per mana, because it's 8 damage for that, and then you could maybe if you had another one somehow that could do a lot of damage. But I guess it's probably a little bit better to just go with the Thunderhide. Not quite be able to get elite here, especially with these creep spawns. But this first lane still is really rough. I feel like this Primal Roar once again is definitely lethal.
If he doesn't do it
again,
now, like this Primal Roar wins the game.
He even drew another one just because the game wants it.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we are.
Yeah, so that's GG. Nothing you can do here.
Bam! There we go. So Coldstorm going in with a 2-1 lead. Derby now has to win effectively 2 best of ones back to back to take home the title. So Coldstorm definitely feeling happy now.
Yeah.
But Coldstorm.
But yeah, and I think that this also also shows you what what I was talking about at the beginning about the Primal Roar as well. That first lane was messy for such a long time, and that there was an opportunity there to mount a defense and solve the game out long enough for Dewey to take down that right lane, because you also see that Dewey does have this really big punch potential that we saw there, but Primal Roar is such a powerful tool for finding holes as an aggressive deck and actually being able to finish up the game.
I'm just remembering it right at the beginning of this. We all liked Derby's deck. We were like, Derby's looking. He's got the beneficial deck here, and even in the last game, me and Neon saw Derby go against a similar deck and win quite handedly. But Coldstorm just has. I don't know what it is about his deck. It's a little bit faster. Like you said, that Beastmaster, that Primal Roar, can really open up the holes late game that you need to just finish it off. If you've already got a strong early game, you're just trying to find that last little bit of tower damage.
Yeah, the Beastmaster, I hate facing Beastmaster. Like, he can set up so many tower kills and things that you might not be expecting. He kind of does something that no other hero can do. So, yeah, I think the speed of Coldstorm's deck with, as you said, the late game filler, or whatever you want to call it, with the Beastmaster, that really puts his deck together.
Looks like we're having a party in right lane this game. Sorry, go on, Neon.
I mean, I was going to say that we also, I think, are seeing a little bit of fatigue for the players as well. This is a lot of games that they've been playing, and this is a hard game to play. Yeah. And who's doing well in that, long slog is going to make a pretty big difference here as well. Because,
This is Derby's 10th game in a row with a 5-minute break. About 2 5-minute breaks. But yeah, you're definitely onto something there. So, for example, we might have noticed the Primal Roar lethal on that left tower 1 turn earlier, but we've only been casting a couple of games. I know Neon played earlier, but we've all had pretty nice breaks.
I really had a nice break. I
I was hoping there that we could have gotten the Stellamin's favor right lane once again on turn 2.
He still
from doing about almost missed that line to finish off that meme excellence here, but I think that was probably the right play nonetheless.
Playing it from right lane to right lane is even greater.
This is even better. Do it. It still lets him duel. I mean, I prefer the Stonehall Elite, but
we have to keep the memes alive.
It's the important part.
Yeah, but for real, yeah, exactly. And the arrow, yes, nice.
Hipfire,
that's really good.
Do you pump the... I guess you can't pump him to the size to... Actually, yeah, you can pump the Mercenary Exiles to the size that it survives this attack. There's part of me that's actually interested in that. Oh, I guess the Hipfire takes that down, so that's fine. I just pump the Mercenary here, I think.
I think I like that too. I don't... At this point, you haven't got a track or a payday in hand, and you're looking with your gold to get big items. You're not too worried about the little ones. So I think you honestly just pump it.
Yeah, I also think so. Oh, and decides not to. He wants that, what's it called? The horn?
This is 19 gold now. Unfortunately, he doesn't get
19's a lot.
It's Derby that had the helm, isn't it? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's really confusing this with the...
Yeah, when you've got a close to mirror match.
Yeah. So Coldstorm is also pretty rich, actually. Had 17 gold.
And I see a Clazarine hiding there on my UI because the game's a little bit buggy still. But
yeah, same here. Same.
This is nuts. We saw a round 2, so mana round 4, Clazarine. I think it was against Derby, wasn't it? And he did eventually manage to overcome it, but yeah, getting a Clazarine out this early just feels so bad when you're playing into it.
Yeah, I saw it on stream actually. What's turn 2 RLS? It feels really like it can decide a game. Classroom is so good.
There's not much you can do as Heroes Coldstorm. Yeah, you've just got to throw the Steel Reinforcement down. There's nowhere to place your Red Mist, but now you know he's out of mana. You start developing the Savage Wolf, right? Or you put Celemania in right lane. No, you develop the Savage.
I mean, he's once again missing the opportunities for this Salamani's right lane. The fact that he got both of these Stonehall plates though out early is really spooky. It just means that over the course of this game, like his armor is just gonna get thicker and thicker, and is gonna put a lot more pressure on Coldstorm to get those coup de grace. With this, the Tyler Estate sensor in the mid lane though, it really feels like Coldstorm is going to be forced to just abandon that mid lane, which is fine. Like that's not that big of a deal.
I like holding the sensor. I like to view the sensor as you hold it until you know your enemy's hitting a really nice mana curve. You have initiative and you use it like almost like a gust. Like you play it so that they can't play a card, and it really screws with them. I don't think the extra 2 health, the extra 2 damage on the tower is really helping, but I mean I guess it's playing into your own curve.
Yeah, I also like saving it, at least for, say you're afraid of the Thunderhide packs, or not Thunderhide packs in this case, because the enemy doesn't have it. But say you're afraid of a...
Yeah, next turn.
Exactly, coup de grace.
Coup de grace, Primal Roar is another good one to block.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Dropping it down on that turn so that they go down to 1 mana too low can really... I mean, especially if they're planning on doing that. That's really messes with the enemy. Like, in Artifact, you have to plan out so many rounds ahead that you can't really factor in, oh, they might remove 1 mana. Like, you just don't have time to do that. So you assume that you're going to have 7 mana on the 7 mana turn. So it can really, really mess with you.
I guess that he's scared that he'll give up initiative, because he'll need to respond to something, so putting it down 1 turn earlier is more safe in a way, because that means the enemy can't throw down the PA and just insta-coup him. So...
Golden ticket again?
Let's see what he gets
another
this
leather
time.
armor? It was Coldstorm again last time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's at least the cloak. Like...
Traveler's Cloak.
Yeah.
All the way up to a Traveler's Cloak. Now, it should be noted that Derwipok did mix things up, and instead of going Salamani's favor from left lane to right, he did it from right lane to left. So...
That's what?
Just like huge changes to the meta game for it. Now getting that proc on the bounty hunter is low key like a really big deal, because there was the opportunity to go just like God's Strength duel or whatever here. Now he does have this kill on the instead. Okay, what do we get from the golden ticket? Keyfolk. Okay, so we only are down 2 gold on that one.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, it's just no. I can't.
It's better than King
so sad. It makes me so sad. Yeah, okay, it's better than Kinfolk plate.
So saving the Lycan here is nice. Do you use the duel here to kill off both enemy heroes?
I might have. Yeah.
Oh no, wait. So you died to the first one. So ignore me on that.
Maybe Stonehold Cloak the Legion, duel the Bounty Hunter, and Legion survives, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or
and then
not now, since she got buffed, but or the Bounty Hunter got buffed with the Kinfolk musket, but.
I like dueling the Beastmaster just to... Oh, wow. Coup de grace here. Okay, not exactly what I was expecting, but that seems...
Yes, so I would have liked the duel on the Beastmaster, because that opens up 12 tower damage, or it forces them to do something like you just did.
Yeah.
Coup here, though, is very good, and shuts off any more red plays in this lane for the time being, and also lets you... keeps your Beastmaster alive, deciding to bail on the lane at this point.
I was debating on that, but that was a tough decision to make, and now you're going to lose your Savage Wolf as well. That's really, really sad. This lane is now a disaster.
Yeah.
You're out. You're just flat out of this lane. But where do you take as the second lane for Coldstorm? I guess that it's the right, the center.
This is now the party lane.
Oh, this is a difficult lane to fight for, though.
You're about to lose your Enchantress as well, right? Yeah. And it's going to be a red Mist Pillager, if not an Ogre Conscript. You have no answers. Your only green card is locked.
Yeah, this is looking really scary.
Do you Ogre or Red Mist? I guess
Red Mist is better, but if you're afraid of a creep, you will play the Ogre. But
yeah, that's what I was wondering. If you're afraid of a creep or not.
I think read your opponent of just like, pass. Like, they have nothing.
They would
and you just jam with the Red Mist Pillager, and like now Derwipok, as just major problems, is slowly pushing that mid lane, and has to just find a way to retake that right lane, I guess. I mean, there's part of me that almost feels like the right lane is harder to retake than the left.
Yeah, especially with the pillagers. Maybe left is the way to go now. I mean, Mass even has the maul, so he'll do 5 tower damage even if it's blocked. So I don't know. I'd probably put him back in left lane just because of how horrible right lane went.
Yeah, I think that also having the, I mean, we've talked about this before. Left lane is better than right lane, so why not fight for that one? And there's also the Salamanian's favor as well here. The fact that we have the opportunity to get into the lane with initiative and do some stuff also is interesting, but right now it is just a disaster, I think, across the board for Derwipok, and it's going to be really hard to get back into this game.
Derwipok is also drawing mostly like defensive plays, and even they don't matter because of the Glittering Hourglass. Like,
yeah, this Hourglass is getting so much value. Like, last turn he was completely locked out of a lane because the only card he could play was Hourglass.
Yeah, it's it really hurts when enemy gets the Hourglass early.
We're back to the God Strength problem as well. He's had 2 in his hand, if not 3 already. God Strength is just not the card you want to see in your hand when the enemy is playing this fast.
Oh.
It's weird to say that, but that Disciple of Nevermore there kind of feels like a bit of a desperation, where he knows that he's not going to be able to get that Bounty Hunter out of that lane, and because like you would really want that on something like the right lane. I guess he has to try and push for the Ancient kill, but that's going to be really tough.
Yeah, I think it's his only choice though, using the Disciple here. That's pretty much his only way out of this game right now, I feel like.
Here with the creeps. They're taking out both the pillagers, so you don't have to worry about those anymore. And you've got a curving arrow. You're still taking 16 tower damage though.
So duel the Debbie with Sven, maybe?
Yeah. I think I duel Debbie with Sven. I first cloak him up just to protect, just to pass. Wow.
Maybe baking something out. I don't know. Go for the duel.
At least I cloak him up in order to just kind of like, it's a cautious kind of stalling play, see what your opponent does. I think that you really need to do that because taking this 11 damage or whatever it is that Debbie's dealing, like that's
basically game ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really scary. Like, I think just dueling the Debbie is his only way out. Like, sure, it doesn't feel great, but yeah, I think it's his only choice. Oh, it goes for the pass.
Cloak. He cloaked the Sven.
Oh, okay, cloaked. Okay, good.
But Coldstorm can read this and cloak Debbie. Yeah. Unfortunate. And you don't quite have enough mana to God Strength and Duel because you didn't put Salamanian's favor in right lane.
And like, there's, in my opinion, no reason really to cloak this Sven first, just because he wasn't dying to Debbie.
Does he have Grazing Shot?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
It's Derby that's got Grazing Shot. So actually, yeah, you're not worried at all. There was nothing.
I guess
the no accident.
Yeah.
Pick off, no accident. Yeah, okay. You're worried about a few things. So yeah, you do definitely cloak first, but yeah, he read the cloak, and now Derby's desperation plays all around. That was considering this is your potentially last turn of the tournament, that was a very fast deployment.
Yeah,
instantly
totally.
dropping them both in there. I would have liked to take a little bit more time to think about it. I don't know if he was running out of time. And you don't
the tournament time is
it doesn't
short.
even matter if you do draw anything.
Yeah, this class man, it feels so bad for Derby, that is.
Now we can do Cloak plus Duel to get rid of that Bounty Hunter, which I think is what you have to do since it's dealing the majority of the damage. It does keep you alive here on paper, but then the Howlbear Crippler comes down and finishes off the game.
Yeah, and also Beastmaster doesn't have a weapon equipped, and it's pretty big chance that Coldstorm has a weapon in his hand.
Yeah.
Which he does. Also the Oaklody Vandal, that obviously Derwipok doesn't know about, but...
He doesn't have any answers in right lane either. He needs to... Mazzy has more, and I think this is a surrender? No. I thought my animation froze for a second. I thought it was a surrender, but...
So I think Coldstorm has this game. And like this round, because of the Oglodi, he could just play it in the right lane.
He doesn't need to, he's got Red Mist more for the right lane.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll make quick work of our enemies.
So yeah, Coldstorm potentially being our first champion here. Winning
Yeah.
one of the first tournaments, if not the first, and there it is. Dewey, hands in the
Yeah.
towel.
Congratulations to Coldstorm.
Yeah, really great win, really fantastic, fast-played games as well. Definitely go and check out Coldstorm's VODs when we get them up online. And yeah, I guess that's the end of our tournament. Thank you very much, Neon and Helberg, for taking me through the final, and Neon for the semi-final. And of course, thank you very much to Auspicious, who brought us not only through the quarterfinals and through the tiebreaker, but he has casted a shed load of games, of course. Shout out to all the other casters in the AOC. And if you at home want to try a hand at casting, we are still running in Season 1 our So You Think You Can Cast sort of initiative, where if you want to try and cast a game, feel free. Come into our Discord, let us know. We'll get you involved and get you casting games of your own. Equally, if you want to participate and you think you can take out Coldstorm, then come in and join the season itself. It's just begun, so you're definitely not far behind. You can catch up in points in no time and fight for the big prize at the end of December. Anyway, guys, I've been Derwipok of the Artificers Guild and of the Artifact Open Circuit. With me have been Neon.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us. You can find my stuff on A-Space Games on YouTube, so check that out. You can also find me at Neon Eternal on Twitter.
And Helberg.
And I just hang out in the AOs.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything, really.
That's pretty much the only thing I do. So I'm there.
But expect to hear a lot more about him, because he's a fantastic player and he's getting into casting a bit as well. And we're incredibly happy to have him on, especially as an analyst, because that man knows how to play the game. Anyway,
thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We hope we can see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.